One of the most common questions that comes my way when people are getting started with GoHighLevel is how do I actually go out there and land clients? So in today's video, we're not going to go through a fancy presentation. You're just going to come hang out with me while I go do some real life prospecting to go find my next GoHighLevel client. So what we're going to cover today is exactly how I reach out to businesses, the tools that I use to reach out to these businesses, how I send personalized outreach, and how I automate a lot of my outreach so that you can go out and get consistent replies on a weekly basis. So my goal is by the end of this video, you'll have a few different ways that you can go out there, start conversations, and land your first or your next meeting. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into the computer here and just get going. So this is the boring stuff that you have to do every day to go out and land clients. So method number one that we're gonna go through is messaging business owners through Facebook groups. And so we're gonna be sending them DMs and seeing if we can book calls with them. Now, this is one of my favorite ways because this is something that's really like low barrier of entry and like you can do it pretty much at any time. Like I do this all the time, just sitting watching a show at night with my wife, right? I'll just sit there and send some DMs. What's better, scrolling through social media or trying to grow your business, right? So these are simple things that you can do every single day to generate conversations with business owners and try to land more meetings. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go to the left side. And you'll see here, I'm in a bunch of different groups and you can search for different groups. Maybe you want to focus on like a specific niche, like lawn care, or maybe you want to focus on like a local area. So maybe like search your local city or your state and reach out to business owners in the local area because it has a little bit more of a personalized touch to it to get in contact and start conversations with them. So I'll go ahead and just like search Utah business. And you'll see here, like there's a bunch of different groups. Now, a few things that I always like to mention is a lot of these are public. And so for this example, like I'll go into a public group, but try to get into private ones as well. Just typically what I've seen is there's like a little less spam in the private groups that you join. So definitely something that I would suggest there. But nonetheless, like totally fine. Start putting in requests to join private groups, but then go into the public groups and you can start reaching out to people right away. So I'll click into this one here. And what I typically like to do is I like to look for posts where it's an established business, but maybe they're semi-newer. So they have some customers under their belt. Maybe they have like 30, 40 reviews on Google, and they're 5-star reviews. So obviously they provide a good service. So it's going to be a good business to work with, but they're a little bit established where they're willing to go out and actually spend money. And the reason why I give you that kind of tip right there is because sometimes in these business groups, you'll see people that are like selling jewelry or something like that. And I'm not saying that's bad. I'm just saying like there's like a big difference between more of like an established business that kind of has like their feet under them. They're like legit LLC. They got some clients going and someone who's just kind of doing like a side hustle making, $100 a month. And obviously they're not going to go pay you, $100, $200, $300 a month to run these services. So anyway, something just to keep in mind. Okay. But I'm going to scroll down here and what I like to look for is like, so you'll see here, some of these businesses, it's like the business page posting them. What I like to look for is a personal page posting about their business. So if I scroll down here, there you go. Like don't have to look very long. I'll probably blur out some of these names for privacy reasons, but you'll see this post was 33 minutes ago. So pretty recent here. And it looks like this is a pest control company. Sorry, I'm reading the post real quick. And I like to read these posts because when I send this message, I'll try to like maybe personalize something a little bit in here. There's nothing crazy in here to reference, but I think you get the point. So this is a business owner that is posting about their business. So obviously they want to advertise, they want to get more customers. But maybe, they need to post in here because they're not one of the big wigs yet. So typically what I like to do sometimes is like cross-reference them on Google just to see if they do have any reviews. And it kind of helps me understand how long they've been in business for. So let me go ahead and just search them real fast. All right, and I promise I did not do this on purpose, but this is literally like the exact type of business that I would go after. So when it comes to like an ideal customer profile, let me talk about why this is one. So you can see here, they have an established business. They have a Google page, which is great. So they know that being on Google, being online is important. And they have all 5-star reviews. I love that because that tells me, hey, they're going and they're actually providing a good service. This isn't like a sketchy business that no matter how much we try to help them, they don't give a good experience to the customer. Like, guess what? You won't be able to help them if they don't give a good experience to the customer. They have to go do their part too. But the other thing here too is they only have 29 Google reviews. So that immediately tells me, okay, if you're searching for pest services, let me just do this real quick. So pest control services, I guarantee you they are not popping up near the top. So let me just see here. Yep. So see if they're even on the first page here. Yeah, I don't even think me do a quick control F. Yep, I don't think they're even on the first page here. So that's great, because then guess what? I can go to them and kind of reference that, right? Talk about how they're not popping up on the first page yet, but they are an established business, which is perfect. So now that I know this is a legit business, this is definitely someone I would go send a DM to. So let me go ahead and type that up real quick. All right, so I went ahead and just hovered over his profile, hit message, and I just typed up a simple message. Hey, Mark, saw your post in the Utah business page about your pest control services. My buddy and I are local to the Utah area and are helping businesses become more visible online by optimizing their Google pages and getting more reviews. Curious if you'd be open to a free trial. Happy to set up a quick call and chat if it makes sense. So I'm going to go ahead and send that, and I won't make you watch me and go through every single one of these. Maybe I'll like speed up the video as I do some more searches here. But let's go ahead and send, a good 5-10 DMs here and see what we get out of it. All right, so there you have it. We went ahead and sent a bunch of Facebook DMs. Hopefully we get a response during this video. If not, I'll post up some screenshots of some responses that we've gotten in the past that were positive replies, just so you can see what they look like here. But go ahead and try to send 20, 30, 40 of these a day. I promise you will get responses and start conversations and book some of your first meetings off of this. Hey, just a quick interruption. It's really easy to watch these YouTube videos and to never actually take action. I was in that spot for a long time, but you get so much confidence when you go out there and actually do it and solve a real problem for a business owner. That's exactly why I've put together a bunch of free resources that you can get access to when you sign up for HighLevel in the description down below. When you sign up using that link, I send over my snapshots, my AI agents, my templates, my onboarding docs, and everything else in between to give you a much faster start with HighLevel. The goal isn't to give you more stuff to learn, it's to help you skip some of the trial and error to help you land that first or next client a little bit faster. So if you're planning to sign up with HighLevel anyway, check out that link down below, and when you sign up, I'll make sure that all those resources get sent over to you. We also have a free community in the description down below where every single Friday you can actually just jump on and get live help from myself, brainstorm, I'll try to answer questions and anything else that I can do to help you get started. So I hope you find those resources helpful. Now let's get back to the video. Now, while we're waiting for these responses, let's go ahead and move on to method number 2, which is automated email outreach. All right, so when it comes to my automated email outreach, this is something that I always try to have running in the background while I'm doing my front end work, which is, sending Facebook DMs and some of the other methods that we're going to be talking about today. So as you can see here on a screen, I have a lead list of hundreds. I think, okay, not quite 1,000. Okay, so this is just hundreds, but sometimes I'll do ones that are thousands of leads that I can go in and load into a tool. And I'm going to talk about some of these tools here in just a second to send out automated emails that run in the background while I'm doing this front end work. Now, are these going to be super good, fancy, personalized emails? No, they're not going to be, but the thing with these automated emails is sometimes you're going to find someone that the timing is just perfect, right? Like the other day, maybe they were talking about refreshing their website, how they need to get more Google reviews. And then you just happen to get in front of them with an email about how you can get them more Google reviews. And then they're like, oh, great. I was actually just thinking about this the other day. Let's go ahead and set up a call, right? So again, like, are your response rates are going to be as high as some of your front end, more personalized outreaches? No, they're not. But if you always have this running in your background, I call this like passive income, because every once in a while you'll get a positive reply to set up a meeting. And I'll show you here what this looks like right now. So first things first, there's 2 ways that you can scrape these leads. I'll show you a free way and then a paid way and talk about the pros and cons of each of them. So if you're just starting out from scratch and you want a free way, what I would suggest doing is downloading a Google extension called Instant Data Scraper. I'll show you what it looks like here. So it just looks like this. It's like a little Pokemon ball. Go ahead and add that to your Chrome. And what this does is when you search for a business, so I'll just do like car detailers, for example, and let me just pull this up here and I'll go down here to map, do more businesses. I can pop open this extension. I'm not sure if you can see my entire screen right now with the extensions at the top, but I just click on the Pokemon ball there. All right, sorry about that. I went ahead and paused the video to share my entire screen so you can see what this looks like. So this is the Pokemon ball that I was just referencing up here in the top right. And when you click that, this is going to pop up. So what it does is it scrapes all of the information off of the Google pages. So their websites, their phone numbers. And this is good, but the thing is, and this is the downside of this, is it is the free version. So yes, could you go in and see if there's any more like personal information, like the business owner's like actual phone number on the website, emails, different things like that? Sure, you can do that, but it's going to be a little bit more manual. So if you have some money to spend and you're just barely getting started, this is where I would definitely suggest probably putting one of your first investments, and that is in a good lead list that has the business owner's personal phone numbers and personal emails. Because again, if you're just calling the business line, you're going to get a lot of gatekeepers. And if you're just emailing in general, like info@businessname.com, like it's probably just going to go to their front desk person and never actually make it to the business owner themselves. So the way that I do this is I will actually just go to websites like Upwork, or you can go to like Fiverr, for instance. So when I come onto Upwork here, you can just type in lead scraper. And if you just need a really cheap budget, there are so many people that work overseas for really cheap rates, but provide great high quality work. So what you can do is you can just filter to under $10 an hour. Say I only want top rated plus and top rated contractors here. And then you can see here, like lead generation, $4 an hour, lead generation, $5 an hour. They can go scrape you a list of, 500, 1,000, 1,500 people pretty quickly for not that much money. So they have access to different softwares and tools. Like they might have like a subscription to Apollo or like ZoomInfo or some of these other different data scraping tools that allow them to scrape personal phone numbers and emails. And then they can deliver that list to you via a CSV file that you see here. So this has come from like a person that, scrape leads for me. But what the difference is all these phone numbers, and I'll have these blurred out again for privacy reasons, and all these emails are typically the personal email of the business owner or the personal phone number of the business owner. So that's step one. You have to have like good lead quality and good lead information to actually get in front of these people. All right. So then once we have that lead list scraped, typically what I'll do is I will load them into an email campaign that is completely automated. So the two tools that I use for email campaigns are either Lemlist or Instantly. So those are the two that I've had good experiences with. And I'll show you on the screen here how these work. Now, they're not sponsored tools or anything. Like I'm not paid to talk about them. They're truly just like the tools that I use on a day-to-day basis. But if you do want to save some money, you can also build these campaigns directly out of HighLevel. I just like the user interface and like some of the deliverability rates and how they warm up emails and a few other things that these tools provide. So that's why I use them. But if you're just getting started and you're like, okay, hey, I'm already paying for HighLevel, like I don't want to pay for additional software tools, we'll talk about how to build it out there in just a second. But let me just show you quickly what it looks like here. So with these campaigns, what you can do is on the left side, once you're logged into Instantly or Lemlist, like the tools are all fairly similar, you can go into campaigns over here on the left side. And then what you're going to go ahead and do is you're going to hit create campaign. Now, when you hit create campaign, what you can do is you can do like a template that's already built, but usually I just do like a manual campaign right here. And then what you're going to do is you're going to put in a series of email steps or phone calls, again, whatever you want to go out and reach out to these business owners. So if you're planning to do phone calls, heck yeah, put some phone call steps there, because this will help you organize your outreach and know who to reach out to and when to follow up with them versus, putting one or two touches on them and then, you lose track of them and you never email them again. A lot of the people will respond after sometimes the 10th to 12th touch in these cadences of you reaching out to them. So I'll go ahead and just do, hey, first step number one, I want to do a email, right? So I'll go ahead, hit email here, and then type up your email, right? I won't go through this whole thing, but you can put your subject line and all that jazz. I can go ahead and add a step and then say, I want to do another email, right? Again, it's pretty easy. And you can say how many days you want to wait for. So say for this one, I want to send the next day, then I can write my email up again, and then I'm good to go. So then from there, what I can do is once I have my cadence all built out, and let me exit out of here so you can see like one that I already have built. So here's an example of one of my campaigns that I have built out. So you can see all these emails right here. And then you can see I have stats on these. So, okay, in this specific campaign, how many leads are in it? 167 people. Out of those 167 people, I've launched, emails to all of these people. So I've sent almost 1,000 messages just with this batch of leads right here. Out of those, we got an open rate of a little under 30%, which is fairly decent. So out of every 10 emails, about 3 people are opening them. And then we got almost a 2% reply rate. And you can see here, we got 18 responses right there. And then out of those 18 responses, and I wouldn't say this is always like super accurate. It says 0.3 of those people were interested. Sometimes I don't know. I feel like that's a little bit off because sometimes people will say like, sure, I'll meet next Tuesday or something like that, but it doesn't like have positive sentiment to it that it doesn't track. But anyway, nonetheless, you can see here, I got a lead list. I loaded it into an email campaign. And then from there, I just went like this, right? Let it run. And I got 18 responses from people. So you can see here pretty quickly, like if you're running this like on a weekly basis or on a daily basis, just kind of depending on how many leads you can go out there and scrape, this is just like passive responses that are coming into the background to book meetings and start conversations. So that's why I'm always a big fan of automated cadences in the background. Even though they're not as personalized, you can still get some great results from it. All right, so here's like an actual real life example of one of these cadences that are going out. I just searched my inbox for a random email here. Again, obviously this is, since these are real people, I'm going to blur out their information here. But you'll see here, like this is not a personalized email like whatsoever. Like, hey, Dr. Smith, Nate here. Sorry if I'm adding to the cluster of your emails in your inbox. I wanted to see if you had 15 minutes sometime soon for a quick chat on how we can provide an additional 5 to 10 new patient consults each week to your practice. We are allowing orthodontists in the blank area to test drive our system for free until they actually have someone commit to starting treatment. Let me know. And then as you can see here, 3 hours later on the very same day, I got a response. Sure, next week would be best Tuesday or Wednesday. So boom, there you have it, right? Again, like 1.8% response rate. Like who cares if I'm sending out thousands of emails and I know they're not personalized, I'm still getting responses and I can still set up meetings off of this. Now jumping into HighLevel here, can you set up a similar campaign in HighLevel? Absolutely you can. The reason why I talk about some of those tools like Lemlist or Instantly, especially in the beginning, is when you're first signing up with HighLevel and you're attaching your domain for the first time, your emails aren't warmed up. GoHighLevel like provides this great warm up email guide that talks about how to warm up your email so not as many emails land into spam and things like that. But those other tools like Lemlist and Instantly, they have like email warm up tools. Well, they'll actually take like the email that you're attaching to it and send it to, I guess, like fake emails that they have. So it warms up your email for you to improve your deliverability rates. But once your emails are warmed up in HighLevel, absolutely, like you can do it here. And guess what? Like you could do it in HighLevel, like at the very beginning. I'm just saying, like, you know, you saw, I think it was like 96% of my emails that I sent landed in the inbox. Maybe with HighLevel, maybe it's like 60 to 70%, right? And those aren't guaranteed numbers by any means. I'm just kind of giving you examples of maybe some of the differences that you'll see right off the bat when you're doing outreach. But if you do want to build something like this, what you could do is get that lead list that I talked about before that people can scrape for you or you can scrape for yourself. And then you can actually just go to the contacts column right here on the left side, and you can load in that lead list. Like it's pretty easy to do. So if I just go over here into import, I can load in a CSV file in here as well. And what's nice about this is the way that I typically like to do this, and let me see if I can get like a fake CSV file to upload. All right, so I have no idea what this CSV file is, but we'll go ahead and load it in because I just want to show you something real quick. So when I hit next here, yeah, holy cow, I don't know what this is, but I can map my fields. So hold on, let me just do something random here. And okay, this is what I want to show you. So what you can do here is you can add tags to imported contacts. So what you can do is you can add a tag to an imported contact. If you don't know what that is, that's like a way that you can keep track of people and go HighLevel. So for instance, like if they booked an appointment, you could set up an automation where they have a tag where you put like appointment booked, right? So then when you search that contact in HighLevel, you know at some point they've booked an appointment. Or in this case, you could add a tag to say uploaded to X email cadence or email sequence, right? So then I know, hey, this contact has gone through this email sequence already, so I probably don't want to add them into it again. So you can either select a tag or I can just do new tag test, right? Or whatever. Hit new tag there. And then what will happen is it will now pop up here. Let's see. Oh, here, I'll just do new tag. There we go, new tag. And then I can go ahead and upload my contacts. And then on the back end, what I'll do is you can go into automations right here. And let me go to automations, create workflow, start from scratch, and whatever. I'll just do test outbound email. And you could do add new trigger, and then you could do tag, and then add a filter here, select. What do I call that? What was it called? I can't remember. What was the tag I just created? Someone put it in the comments down below. New. Okay. Anyway, sorry, I'm getting caught up on this too much. Oh, duh. Okay, sorry. See, I'm gonna keep this whole part in because this is just, I love when I make mistakes like this, so you know they're real. Okay, so there we go. So the reason why I couldn't find it is because I needed to put tag added. So yes, tag has been added, and then new tag. I'm going to save that trigger. And then what I can do from here is I can start putting in email steps. So this is like very similar to like what we were building in one of those tools where you go in and you can type in emails and, you know, create your cadence or your sequence. But now you're just doing it in HighLevel. So I can go ahead, save action here. And then what happens is when I upload that contact list and this tag is added to it, which will automatically be added, right? Because when I upload the list, I can add the tag at the same time to all those contacts. It will then trigger them to go through this email campaign. And same theory applies here. I can go email, and then I can put like a wait step in here and say you want to wait, 1 day, and then put another email in here for like the second email that you want to follow up with. Again, it's a very similar pattern and pretty self-explanatory, so I think you get the point. But that is how you could do it directly in HighLevel if you wanted to. Now, I do have a lot of these email cadences already built out and a lot of other automations as well. So I will call out when you sign up for GoHighLevel in the description down below, I actually give you a 30-day extended free trial. I guess I've made enough videos about HighLevel that they give me a partnership, which is pretty cool. So anyway, but when you sign up using that link, because I'm an affiliate, it's the same exact price, but when you sign up and that benefits me, I send you over a bunch of like bonuses as well, just to help you out, get started and hopefully get a little bit of a quicker start with HighLevel. So feel free to check those out. All right, so that is method number 2. Now let's move on to method number 3, which is sending out personalized videos. Now, this is one of my favorite methods because not a lot of people actually do it. You'll see people talking about it, but the people who actually sit down and send out videos on a daily basis, it's pretty rare. Like I've had multiple people come to me when I set up meetings via personalized videos and they're like, oh, wow, like, yeah, no one's ever sent me a video before. That was actually pretty cool. Like it definitely helped stick through the noise. So anyway, this is definitely something that is slept on that you should be doing every single day. Now, because you are filming videos, it takes a little bit longer, but if you send out, 5 to 10 personalized videos a day, you're doing, what is that? Anywhere from 25 to 50 a week. Like I'm not exaggerating when I say this. Like typically I get like an 8 to 10% response rate like off of my videos. So for every 10 videos that I send, typically I get like 1 reply. Now, as always, no results are guaranteed, but I just want to tell you like my own experience. So hopefully you can see some similar results. All right. So the way that I go about this is I'll just go to Google and I will search for a specific niche, right? So maybe I do like pest control services. That's what we did earlier today when we were kind of cross-referencing that other business. I'll go down here and what I'm trying to find is I'm just doing like quick audits on these businesses that are on here. So I'll typically scroll down and I'll try to go to like the bottom of page 1, or maybe sometimes I'll go to page 2, just kind of depending on what I'm seeing here. But like, here's a really good example. So here's a business. They have all 5-star reviews again. So this is kind of like a similar example of the one that we found on Facebook, but they only have 35 reviews. Let me go ahead and just check out their website real quick. Now, when it comes to their website, like it's fine. It seems more almost like a funnel than like an actual website. You can see there's only like one page. I can't really scroll on anything. So if there's anything that like I want to call out or that I want to, help them out with, I can add that into the personalized video. But one thing I see here, so you can call them, which is great. But one thing that I don't like a lot is like this contact us form. It's kind of like hidden in the bottom page. And then right here, it says call now. So I don't know, we could call them and see what happens here. But like the very first thing that I would do for this is like, okay, hey, let's make it a little bit more visible to maybe put on like a contact us form right on the front of their page. We could put it like right here next to it or right under it where people can go out and fill out their information if they don't necessarily want to call. Another thing we could do is we could add a chatbot onto the website, which is like a conversational AI chatbot that could chat back and forth with people, answer questions, and then book appointments with them. Because guess what? Like this person, like they might be out on a job right now and maybe they missed the phone call, right? If that's the case, they just missed out on a lead. So if they give people other options on their website to go ahead and directly book appointments with them without having to call, it might be, a way to get them a little bit more revenue into their business. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and actually film a Loom video to send over, and then I'll show you what the video looks like so you can just see an example. But like a few pointers for these, like don't make them super long, like don't make them 3 to 5 minutes. Like again, business owners, like they're busy. Try to make it 45 seconds to a minute long, call out a few problems that you might see, give us a few suggestions, provide value, see if you can book an appointment. Hey, I wanted to send over a quick video, hopefully to stand out a little bit and break through the noise, as I'm sure you get reached out to all the time. I actually came across your business on Google. My buddy and I, we help local Utah businesses in the area get more 5-star reviews and optimize their Google business page. And first things first, what I noticed about yours is you guys have all 5-star reviews. You have a perfect score. So that tells me you guys are providing an excellent service to the people that you're going out to and, who are leaving reviews for you. But I did notice the reason why your popping up kind of near the bottom of the first page here is just because you only have 35 total reviews for the business. So I wanted to reach out to you because we actually help solve that problem. We help get more 5-star reviews from your current customer base, whether they were customers in the past or new appointments that are being booked on a daily basis, so that you can continue to grow and organically move into these top 2 to 3 spots that people typically never even scroll past. Once you get into that top 2 to 3 spot on Google, you're going to get a lot more organic business calling into you. So I would love to chat a little bit more about how we help other local businesses solve this problem. And on top of that, I was taking a look at your website and noticed a few things. Obviously, right here in big orange letters, like you can go ahead and hit call now to go and book an appointment. But I noticed you have no way to actually fill out like a contact form and have people self-book appointments for themselves. I think adding that to your website along with a potential like chat bot where people could go back and forth with it, ask it questions, and it can automatically book appointments for you without you having to be there. So you can focus on going out and actually doing the work could be really good for the business. So again, let me know if this would be worth a brief conversation, and we can just go from there. Thanks so much. All right, so there you have it. That is sending out personalized videos. Now you can either do it via email, or you can go through Facebook, or you could even find the business owner on LinkedIn and send these over. There's a variety of ways that you can do it, but if you try to do like 5 to 10 high quality ones a day, good things will happen. So feel free, check that out. Now let's go ahead and move on to method number 4. And I left this for last because this is something that you typically do after you land your first few clients and then can reinvest money back into the business. But let me go ahead and pop my screen open here again. And this is just like an example Facebook ad account that you can do. So when you are ready and you start getting revenue into the business, what you can do is you can go through and create ads. So I'll just show you like an example of what one would look like that we would run for our business. So we will test like a variety of video ads and also picture ads as well, just to see like what works best. Like again, just kind of depending on the ad and the video, like it will go back and forth on what works best. But what we typically do, like we keep it pretty simple. We usually will do like instant lead forms on Facebook, have them answer a few questions to help qualify them, and then we'll set up some automations in GoHighLevel, and I'll show you what those look like right now. So after Oh yeah, here we go. Perfect. I clicked on the right tab. I didn't think I would. Anyway, so after they fill out the form, you can see here whether they self-book an appointment through the form, or maybe they just fill out the form, but they don't actually complete the steps of booking an appointment. We have some different automations that will go out based off of the steps that they've taken to make sure that we're doing instant follow-up. We're getting internal notifications so we know that the leads are coming in, and then text messages and emails are going out to that lead right away in order to follow up with them. But I won't like harp on this too much, but what I typically do when it comes to ads and just what I've seen successful or be successful is setting up local ads. So what I mean by this is like, here, let me see if I can play this example video for you. All right. So sorry, this is kind of small, but essentially what I'm doing in this ad is I'm calling out local businesses in the area. So I'll say like, hey, blank business owners. So then maybe I call out a state like Tennessee business owners, Utah business owners, California business owners, or if you want to get even more specific, you could call out a city. And then typically what we go through is just like, hey, do you want your Google review page to look like this or look like this? We talk about some of the benefits and then prompt them to book an appointment, right? We keep it like very simple and very fast, because obviously like in this day and age, you can't do a 2-3 minute ad. Like you need to make it like a reel, like, 10, 15 seconds long. And then we just attach an instant form, like I said before, and then connect it back to the automation. So again, I won't harp on this one too much because this is typically like the fourth step that you do after you go through a lot of the free methods in the beginning. And it's a grind and it takes work, but it's so nice because then once you have money to reinvest back into ads, it's like a snowball effect, right? Because you still keep up your front end motions, your back end motions of outbound outreach, but now you have ads running in the background, and now you have leads and appointments coming from all different types of sources. And then like your first client, maybe it takes you 2 months to go and land them, right? But then your next second, third, fourth, fifth client, again, just kind of depending on how you have all these motions running, maybe it takes you 3 weeks, right? So it's pretty cool to see that momentum grow within your business. All right, and that is what a day of prospecting looks like. Again, I know this probably wasn't like the funnest video to go through, but like this is the boring stuff that you have to do every single day to stay consistent with booking new meetings, starting conversations with business owners, and scaling your own online business. Now, a few things that I want to note here as we close out this video. Number one, you have to be consistent with this. Like, you can't go out, be all hyped up today, go and send, 10 Facebook messages, not get a reply and go, oh, dang, it didn't work. And then you're done, right? Like, this is something that you have to do every single day. Sometimes it takes 100 outreach points just to get one response. So if you're consistent with it every day, you'll get better reply rates. And then from there, you'll book more meetings, right? But stay consistent, set your daily goals, your daily KPIs of outreach touches that you want to do, and good things will happen. Number two, in the beginning, I would definitely suggest having a front end motion. So those would be like the Facebook DMs, the personalized Loom videos going out, and a background motion. So those would be like the automated email cadences going at all times, because in my own personal experience, when I had both of those going at once, that is typically how I landed the fastest. Some of my first meetings the fastest. Yeah, that's the best way to say that. Some of my first meetings the fastest to start getting revenue to the business in order to reinvest into the Facebook ads, which I talked about at the end. So I hope this practical video was helpful for you. If you have any questions at all, please leave a comment down below and leave a like on the video, as it really does help out the channel. And finally, if you do want to get started with GoHighLevel, guess what? I am a partner with them. And all that means is I've made enough videos on GoHighLevel and have used it long enough that when people use my link to sign up, instead of giving people a 14-day free trial, they give them a 30-day free trial. And for when people sign up using that link, because it helps me out, I help you out by sending over all my templates, my automations, my AI agents, and everything else in between to help you get a faster start with GoHighLevel. So feel free to check out those resources in the description below. And with that, we'll see you in the next video.